Apree breaks silence on embarrassing arrest. Did he get a happy ending? Chille DeCastro records mean old police ignoring him and doing policing things. Karen Reed gets sued by the family of John O'Keefe in civil court. Plus, we whine about YouTube monetization instead of talking about the GoFundMe market on this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good afternoon and welcome to the Monday edition of the Auditing Insanity Newscast, brought to you by ReallyCoolNews. I'm Jim Finch and we're running late tonight as we've had a busy day filled with news on Chille DeCastro, Karen Reed, Apree, and us? Oh yeah, we whine about the YouTube monetization process. Since we're so late, we won't keep you very long as we ask you to focus on GoFundMe, hard realities about monetization. We won Sunday again with a $10 take from our mystery benefactor. I think you know the rest already, as there was no activity on any of the other campaigns we follow. There's been a lot of questions in the past about the need for the ongoing campaign or our continued request for donations since we're now monetized. Since we're out of everything else to talk about today, let's dive in. A couple of weeks ago, we reached level 1 monetization with help from NCR News Network's promotion. We reached 500 viewers, and that means the money is flowing in, right? Oh no, not so fast. We did get basic monetization. That means that we can receive super chats, super stickers, and people can buy channel memberships. We do not get ad revenue or any other perks, and we're still about 460 subscribers away from unleashing any income from people watching our videos. Between what's available to us to make money on YouTube, we've made about $160 in pre-tax money, hopefully post-YouTube cut money, that is sitting in an account that we can't touch until, hopefully again, next month. Google requires verification, and conveniently, after going through all the steps for monetization, YouTube added the final step of verifying our address by sending a code out via snail mail as the supposed final step in the process. To their credit, our code only took 6 days to get here, and we put it in the system, and we wait, and jeepers, if they pay the 20th, that's still going to be 25 days until we see any revenue. And that's where our problem comes in. We still have to eat. We still have cats to feed. We still have bills to pay. Our generous mystery hate watcher aside, and a couple of special donors aside, we still need help for the basics as we need to survive. In other words, the movie credits didn't roll, and there's no happily ever after when our magic YouTube moment came. We still need your help, and we're thankful if you still want to support us. For our part, since all of our means to make money are tied to live streaming and streams, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be returning to panel shows and finding more ways of bringing in people to our channel and hopefully jumpstart things to again hopefully move us out of the red and back into the black in September, if we get paid. On that note, if you'd like to shut us up about having to eat and feed cats and all that good stuff, and force me to keep writing this column each day, we do have a GoFundMe of our own. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing new stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Apree addresses Florida arrest. YouTuber Apree released a video Sunday night addressing his July arrest for failure to comply with a lawful order and the drama surrounding his car's tinted windows as the situation went semi-viral in the past week. A video began to circulate last week of Apree's arrest on July 26, 2024, essentially for driving his vehicle with illegally tinted windows after getting multiple tickets and direct orders not to drive his car. Apree said he was going to stay positive, but questioned how someone got word of the arrest when it was under his real name and wasn't widely publicized, especially on the level it would take for someone in the auditing community to then go out and get the body cam footage for release. The comedian and YouTuber noted that one of the police officers recognized him on scene, but didn't make the direct accusation that the officer leaked the arrest. He did find it coincidental, but left it at that and noted that he first saw the video on hero Sean Paul, Long Island Audit Riaz's channel. Apree recounted the first incident with police that had body cam released, which occurred on July 25, 2024. He was pulled over by a motorcycle officer for the tint, who noted that he had several tickets for the same offense. The officer instructed Apree to call a tow truck as he would be unable to drive the vehicle until the situation with the tint was resolved. Apree complied and had the car towed back to his Airbnb. He admitted to making the willing decision to drive the car the next day as it was a workout day and he needed to stay on schedule. He didn't explain why he opted to drive instead of taking an Uber or rideshare, but the decision led to the encounter with police and his arrest a few minutes later. Apree called most of the officers chill and continued his mantra of putting positivity out into the world. He said he didn't hate police and had nothing but respect for them. Ultimately, Apree showed up at his hearing for the tinted glass and had all charges dropped by the state. Apree released no conditions on what he needed to agree to for the charges to be dropped as of press time. O'Keefe family files wrongful death lawsuit. The family of Boston police officer John O'Keefe filed the wrongful death lawsuit on Monday against Karen Reed and the two bars that served her on the night she is alleged to have hit O'Keefe with her car. John O'Keefe's brother Paul, his father John O'Keefe II, mother Margaret O'Keefe, and niece Kaylee Furbush are listed as plaintiffs in the case against C&C Hospitality, doing business as C.F. McCarthy's, Waterfall Bar and Grill, and Karen Reed are listed as the defendants in the lawsuit. The suit alleges that C.F. McCarthy served 7 alcoholic beverages to Reed in about 90 minutes on January 8, 2022, and allowed her to carry her last drink out of the bar and take it with her to the Waterfall Bar, where she was served 2 more alcoholic drinks over the next 90 minutes. According to the suit, a clearly intoxicated Reed was allowed to leave the bar and drive without anyone intervening or offering a designated driver, rideshare, or cab to Reed. Reed then drove boyfriend John O'Keefe to Brian Albert's house, where she got into an argument with O'Keefe, ultimately striking him with her vehicle and leaving him for dead. Reed then allegedly returned to the O'Keefe house and confessed to Kaylee Furbush that she hit O'Keefe with her car and leaving him at the scene. She then attempted to cover up her actions by conducting a search for O'Keefe with her friends. Reed's blood alcohol levels were between 0.13 and 0.29 when her blood was tested hours after the alleged murder, putting her well above the 0.08 blood alcohol content legal limit to drive a motor vehicle. Both bars are accused of gross negligence in their involvement in the events leading to O'Keefe's death. Among the many accusations against them, they are accused of violating their own training and over-serving Reed to the point where she was a danger to others. The O'Keefes are seeking judgment against all defendants, plus costs, compensatory and punitive damages, lost value to next of kin, and any other relief the court deems appropriate. Karen Reed stood trial for the death of John O'Keefe in the spring and early summer of 2024, which resulted in a hung jury. Reed's initial defense had been that she was framed for the murder of O'Keefe by Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins, a man she had kissed at O'Keefe's home and had been flirting with. Reed's second trial for the murder is set for January 2025. DeCastro audits roadside incident. Live streaming from an undisclosed location Sunday night, Jose Chille DeCastro stood on the opposite side of the street from a traffic stop, simultaneously promoting his 5A cop card product and failing to follow it at the same time. DeCastro said he was driving down a road when he came across a scene with two police cars involved in a stop of a dark SUV. Two officers were questioning a black man on the side of the road. He said he pulled around and parked across the street in front of a gated community and provided commentary as he claimed the man said he had a warrant that the officers were checking on. Eventually, the officers had the man fill out a roadside statement while the man's father came over and told DeCastro that the man had been fighting with his brother. While waiting for activity, DeCastro chastised his side chat for discussing politics. Despite sarcastically endorsing Donald Trump last week, DeCastro said that neither Trump nor Kamala Harris would get his vote as he was voting third party. He called Robert Kennedy a sellout for endorsing Trump and would not be backing his former candidate's decision. One of the two police cars eventually went into the gated community, and DeCastro overheard the officer describing DeCastro as a First Amendment auditor to the person who answered the intercom at the gate. DeCastro then said he planned on using his 5A cop card to invoke his First Amendment rights as press, then his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent should the officer ask him questions. Strangely, DeCastro then crossed the street to engage with the other officer who was waiting on someone to arrive to take the SUV from the man involved in the stop. DeCastro engaged the officer, who ignored him, asking questions and eventually following the officer's orders to stand back from the windows of his car. DeCastro at one point randomly commenting to himself how easy it would be to kill the officer due to the man's ease at DeCastro's presence. Eventually, a second man came and took the SUV into the residential community, with the police officers following closely. DeCastro, now alone on the scene, would do one more plug for his products before ending the live stream. And that's a wrap for another day. Late as we may be, we've got the paper and the newscast out later than ever. But at least it's the same day. Right now, we've suspended the evening watch parties until we complete its retooling, but the newscast will be out every night without fail. Until we fail, and then we'll be out the next day, or the day after that, or the day after that. We're returning to Drunk Girl Theater 3 days a week, along with the All-Star panels on the other 3 days a week. They should be enough to meet your needs for live events during this time, and hey, remember, we're at level 1 monetization, so super chats, super thanks, and memberships all work if you really want to tip us. We'll see the money in September, but we may actually one day get paid. Look, Rose, we're employed. We get a paycheck. We get a paycheck. Maybe in September.